Why was ICE trying to deport this U.S. citizen?
This is my birth certificate. I was born in Stockton, California, February 16, 1978. Diamond Hospital, West Acacia Street.
Miguel Silvestre was born and raised in Stockton, California, but just a few weeks ago, he found out there's an order for his deportation. Again.
I never thought it ever happened to me again.
Miguel was wrongfully deported in 1999. He was intoxicated and causing a disturbance. He was taken to San Joaquin County Jail, and Miguel's record is far from perfect. There's drug and firearms charges and grand theft auto. But that time in the county jail was different. It was the first time he'd encountered immigration officials.
They go like, hey, what's your name? I said, my name's Miguel. I was like, okay, ¿de dónde eres? Where do you mean where I'm from? I said, I'm from Stockton, California. They were like, it's not what our paperwork says. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Several days later, Miguel was in unfamiliar territory, Nogales, Mexico.
I didn't know where to call. I didn't know where to sleep.
These guys decided that they would basically kidnap him and set up the paperwork so that he would be taken through a number of offices and eventually dumped into Mexico.
Jackie Stevens runs the deportation research clinic at Northwestern. She says this situation isn't unique to Miguel.
At any given time, about 1% of the people who are in custody under immigration laws are U.S. citizens.
While 1% may seem small, it translates to thousands of U.S. citizens. Eventually, Miguel's dad had to bring his son's birth certificate down to Mexico so he could return home.
It makes me upset that my own government would do this to me, you know?
In 2004, Miguel found himself in a similar situation. After a weekend in Mexico with a friend, he was denied entry back into his home country.
I got deported in 1999. I said, but you guys made a mistake.
He was charged with illegal re-entry and was taken into custody. This time, his mom came down to help. Again, he was released and the charges were dropped. This time, he left with a judge's order confirming his U.S. citizenship.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, where am I? I get scared, like, am I somewhere that I'm not supposed to be? But then, reality kicks in and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm somewhere safe.
For the last 20 years, Miguel hasn't had any other run-ins with immigration. But the trauma of being deported from his own country lingers.
The way they treat me, it's wrong. It's wrong.
And a few weeks ago, on July 4th, it was all brought back up. Stevens told Miguel she had discovered the new order for his deportation through a FOIA request.
So I was really surprised to all of a sudden see this expedited removal order pop up in his file.
She said that ICE has been prioritizing people who are criminals, and because Miguel has a criminal record, it's possible ICE could show up to his home or place of work, even though, as a citizen, he shouldn't have a deportation order to begin with. In a statement, a DHS spokesperson said Miguel was originally deported in 1999 because he claimed to be a Mexican citizen, but Miguel denies that. DHS also said Miguel does not have an active immigration case and is not a target of ICE. When asked about whether the new order was created by mistake and if it has been fixed, the spokesperson did not respond. While Miguel was glad to hear that DHS said it's not targeting him, he says he's still weary, not knowing if his citizenship status has officially been corrected and if the order has even been withdrawn. He says he feels like he constantly has to look over his shoulder.
Just to get my name corrected or whatever needs to be corrected in the system, my pain and suffering and not to be looked at, like I'm a nobody, like I want to be looked at like an American,